welcome to the Budget Mom YouTube channel. I'm Miko Love from thebudgetmom.com, and we have Ryen back today here in Spokane for another budget recap. We are going to be talking about April.
Yep.
April was a little crazy. Here's the thing. I was over budget in 3 of my spending categories, my budget categories, but I know exactly why.
Hey, good.
I was over budget. Now, I received a question from a reader this last week that was a very good question that I thought I would address here. She said, Miko, the monthly budget categories that you write down, we'll be sharing this what I'm talking about on the worksheet. On the monthly budget category breakdown, there's a place to write your monthly budget.
Right.
When you are over budget in a category, do you adjust your monthly budget or do you just leave it over budget knowing why you were over budget? For example, I was over budget on my household because I had to pay my property taxes, right?
Oh, right.
My usual household budget's only $50 a month. That's my usual monthly budget is for my household is $50 a month.
Right.
But this month, I spent over $8,000 in my household budget because of my property taxes. Do you leave it at $50 a month? Or do you adjust it for what you know you're going to spend, right?
Right.
Here's my answer. If you know you are going to be spending that money in the month that you were tracking, adjust it for that spending, even though it's outside the realm of what you usually spend.
Especially if you have like a sinking fund already saved for
right.
it, you know?
Exactly. If it's a holiday, for instance, Christmas,
right?
And you know in that month you were spending all $2,000 of your Christmas budget, right? Your holiday budget might be only $50 a month, but not for Christmas time.
Right. I see what you're saying.
So the point of your monthly budget is it's not going to stay the same every single tracking period or every single paycheck.
So true.
Your budget is going to change based on what's happening in your real life. Now, there are instances that come up in my spending in my expense trackers that aren't on my budget. Why? Because things pop up.
Oh, yeah.
Spending happens outside of our budget sometimes. Do I adjust my budget at that point? I do not. I leave it and I say I'm over budget, but you know what? I can tell you right now why I'm over budget. Right? So your budget needs to change. I know a lot of us like repetition. We don't like changes.
Like consistency.
We like the type of budgets that you can just copy and paste from one month to the next. And then what happens? We try to fit ourselves in that budgeting box and it doesn't work. Why? Because our lives, the moment that we are living in the now is not the same moment it was when we were budgeting last month or last paycheck. So this all has to do with realistic budgeting. It is based on what you are truly going to spend, not what you want to spend, and not what your budget told you last time. That's really important.
Yeah, it is.
So adjust those monthly budgets, and I'll show this in my budget breakdown today to really show visually what that means. But, I was over budget in fun and entertainment. I know why. I was over in my pets. I know why. And I was over in my savings, which you always want to be. You always want to be over your budget, what you budgeted for in savings, right? Or debt payments or investments. Those are the 3 categories where you want to be over budget. You want to save more than what you told yourself you would, So that's what happened with me as far as my April budget. How did you do? I know you have a lot going on. I know last time we announced, kind of your family situation. You are taking on a ginormous responsibility with your niece, Ryen, and helping the family that way. So how did you do?
It's finally started, knock on wood, obviously, but April was kind of that first month where it was just, I felt like I could breathe again, That sounds so dramatic, but it's true.
No, it is true.
It's true.
It is true.
So things are definitely settling back out. I'm still spending, like I said, Ryen didn't really have anything from her mom's house that we got. So all we had was what my brother had. So there's a lot of stuff that we've been having to buy for her. And with just her growing, it's just scary.
I know.
I can't.
I know.
But yeah, so April was kind of that first month where I felt like things were starting to get back on track, and I'm getting a better idea on how much I might be spending on Ryen month to month. So yeah.
And sometimes with those new expenses, like this new budget category you have for Ryen, right? Ryen's, your niece is a new budget category.
Right.
There is a budget transition.
Yeah.
Okay. This comes down back to that realistic budget, what you're spending. Sometimes you don't have past spending to compare it to. Right. This is a perfect example of my garden budget.
Yeah, true.
I won't
Who
know.
knows?
I won't know what's normal for another couple of years because I'm only doing this once or twice a year with my garden.
That's so true.
Same with you. You're not going to know for months
right
what's quote unquote normal.
Yeah. And at this, I totally agree. I totally get that. And at this point, I'm just like helping, obviously my brother's throwing in money. My mom's been helping a lot. My dad's been helping a lot, but I don't want, I want us to all help.
All pitch in as
each other. I don't want any of them to take sole, or me even take sole responsibility on these expenses. So I just help, I cash flow whenever I can. And
okay, this video is all about where our dollars went in April. Did our spending align with what we're truly trying to accomplish with our money? And did we hit, or are we going to hit our financial goals? So let's look at our April budget recap. So the first worksheet we're looking at is my monthly budget. Now, if we look at, remember I was talking about earlier in the video, this monthly budget, okay? So, for instance, my pet budget was $390 for this tracking period, but I spent $566. Why? Because I had an unplanned, unexpected expense pop up into my life. Toby had to go to the vet, our dog, because he had a skin sore that showed up on his upper right leg. Do I adjust my budget for that unplanned, unexpected expense? No, I'm over budget, but I had the money to cover it. I'm just over budget by $176 for that expense. Same with my fun and entertainment. My fun and entertainment budget is $150. I was over by $113. Why? Because Chris wanted to buy one of the UFC fights. Was I planning on that happening? No. So I'm over budget. Even though I had he covered that money, I still was over budget. I didn't adjust this because it was unplanned, unexpected. But I did adjust my household budget because I knew that spending was coming. I knew that bill was coming up. So that's how I work this. It changes every month. Now, I was under in my food, which I'm very happy.
Yay, that's always a win.
I was under in my gas. These were the two things that I have seen increase the most due to inflation for me.
Nice, yeah.
Those were the two hardest hit categories for me. So for me to be under those means that I am at least taking those small actions. Especially within our food budget, I'm finding different recipes and ways to utilize the food I have at home to really bring down that cost. For my gas, I just drove less.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I was under in my health and beauty. I was under in all of them pretty much. So I spent $4 on my wedding. I know that seems ridiculous, but I did for some they call them, what do you call them? Swatches?
Oh yeah, like
color swatches, yep. So that was where my dollars went. I was only off by $1. My total inflow was $15,330 and total was $15,331 with my May starting balance of $805.
Perfect.
So that's my monthly budget category breakdown. For my monthly investment and savings breakdown, I invested $800 of my total monthly inflow, which is about 5%. So I would say about 37% went toward my non-retirement brokerage investment accounts. 62 or so percent went towards my 529. Now this does not include any of my retirement savings. My retirement, like my 401k, is done via my business through my paychecks. So I'm also maxing out my 401k, but this is for just my personal investments outside of my paycheck. For savings, I had a total monthly income of $6,897. Now the total monthly income includes starting balance, earned income, and other income. It does not include savings used for the month. I saved $2,346, which is about 34% of my income.
Wow.
So if you add these together, I'm close to about 40% of my income either savings or invested.
Awesome.
I saved for sinking funds, my 2022 savings challenges, my $5 challenge, and then $827 went towards the wedding, which is 35%.
Wow.
Now, if I look at these percentages and you ask yourself, Miko, did this align with your financial priorities that you're trying to accomplish? Absolutely. It's saving for those planned and expected future expenses, my wedding, and then my savings challenges. So it exactly is aligning with where I want to go.
Yay.
All right, so if we are comparing, for the monthly spending comparison, we're comparing April to March, I had an increase of inflow of $6,657. That's because I brought in a lot of that property tax savings.
Right.
Now, if it's in green, I spent less in April than I did in March. If it's in red, I spent more in April and March. Of course, I was over because of that UFC fight in my fun budget, in my fun spending. I was over in holiday because we had in April, we had Easter.
Right.
Household, my property taxes, that's why I'm over. And I always want to save more.
Yeah, that's awesome too. You spent what, $84 less on gas?
$84 less, yep, in gas,
That's
$60
awesome.
less in food.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really happy about this.
Yeah.
You know, even with me getting that vet appointment, I still spent less than I did in March for Toby because I believe what happened, and I'm just going to look really quickly. This is the great thing about having everything in one book. In March, we had Toby's tick pill, which was $80.
Groomer's appointment.
And we had a groomer's appointment, and I had Toby's insurance.
That's right.
Remember in March, I paid his full yearly premium for his pet insurance.
Nice.
So that's why. See how fast I could find that information? Yeah. So not bad. I understand why I spent more in April.
Right.
And I know that the steps I'm taking, especially in the food category, it's working.
Yep.
I'm hitting these goals. It was my goal to be under in my gas category. I'm hitting that. Overall, good job in April.
Yay, Miko. Okay, so here is my April monthly budget category breakdown. Starting with the starting balance of $211, which is what I came into April with, what was in my checking account. Earned income, which is just my paychecks, of $4,038. Other income, which is what my fiance reimburses me for some bills. Total monthly inflow is $431829. So everything with the red dot here means that I was over budget. Everything in green means I was under. Food, I've been doing really good on our food budget, but we ate out so much in April, honestly. My poor niece was in the hospital all of Easter weekend. She had a double ear infection, a UTI, and pink eye. That was the other thing. So we just ate out a lot. Personal, I was under. Gas, I just send Cody $80 a month just because he's the only car that we have. Miscellaneous, I spent none, which is always a win. Less in household. I was able to put $731 towards debt, which is the most that I've been able to do since January, I think. So that made me really happy. Insurance, I spent $417. Brock, it seems like whenever my dog runs out of food, he also runs out of like food and treats. So we just kind of had to buy all of that in April. So that's why I was over budget there. Utilities, I was under, which I'm also really happy about. Savings, I was able to save $300, which is $100 more than what I tried to. And then Ryen, I still spent about $300, still around $300, $333, which is what it's kind of been the trend since February. I think we had to buy a car seat in April, so that was probably a big chunk of this, but just, those little things that just keep adding up with her. So there's that. My May starting balance is $241.11, which brings my total to $4318, which matches my inflow, which means I was off by 0. So that's great. Okay, moving to my monthly debt and savings breakdown, I was able to put about 17% of my inflow towards debt, which, like I said, I believe it's the most since January, which makes me really happy. $722 of that went to my student loan. That's awesome. That just clicked in my head. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Okay, and then about 7% of my income was saved. I was able to save $100 towards $125 for my savings challenges, and I'm still able to put money towards my sinking funds, which I'm really happy about. I was able to do $175. And Christmas and Ryland's birthday are really the two big ones that I'm worrying about right now, just until things settle a little bit more. Those are the two expenses that I know 100% are coming, and I'm going to be spending money. So those are what I'm focusing on with my sinking funds. Okay, so comparing April to March, I did have a inflow change. I decreased by 176. So let's see. Everything with the red dot means I spent more in April than I did in March. Everything in green means I spent less in April. So you can see here I only spent $5 more in food, which isn't bad. More money in personal, the same amount in gas, and the same amount in insurance, it looks like. Let's see, everything else was pretty good. I was able to put $114 more towards debt in April than I did March. And then I did save, it looks like $50 less in April than March, which is totally fine with me. I rather put that towards debt anyway. So yeah, overall, April was a really good month.
So that is our full April budget recap and where our dollars went and the whole shebang. Now, I know we're getting into May. Couple of things for May for me. Let me just go to my calendar. So I plan on starting planting my garden around May 15th.
Exciting.
Planting, okay? I have my seeds. I have my seed potatoes ready to go. The only thing that I need to buy for this garden are my start plants. I have right now in my May budget, I have $262 to do that with. I think that's doable.
Nice.
I think I will be able to do everything I wanted as far as planting my first spring garden this year.
That's so exciting.
Will I do a winter garden? Winter gardens or fall gardens start around August here in our planting zone. I don't know. It depends on how much I have to save. I have a lot of things going on. I have vacations. I have honeymoons. I have a wedding that I'm paying for in September.
This fall, yeah.
My garden is not a priority.
Yeah, right,
It's on the back burner. If I can, I can. So I have the planting of my garden around May 15th. My best friend's birthday is also May 15th. We also have Mother's Day on the 8th. I am cash flowing Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. Cash flowing means I'm not saving in advance for that expense. I am literally using the paycheck of that time period to cover that expense.
Yep.
I also have our engagement photo shoots this month in May.
Yeah.
So the photographer we hired for our wedding, they do videography, they do your whole day of wedding, but included in that package, they also give you your engagement photos.
Right, yeah.
I'm not spending any money on that. I already paid my deposit. That's all been done. So I'm not going to be paying any of that. We have Cinco de Mayo coming up on the 5th.
Oh yeah, that's soon.
Yep. Chris's family, Mexican, he's all about the chalk goes. So, yes. So, I just showed on my Instagram my spending reel for my grocery shopping.
Right.
I got some tortillas from some little street tacos.
Oh, fun.
I have some steaks in the freezer.
Nice.
This is my plan.
Yeah.
All I had to buy was the little tortillas for the street tacos. So, I have that already here. I have 2 lash appointments in the month of May that I have in my budget. Other than that, Mother's Day, Cinco de Mayo. We also have Memorial Day weekend at the end of May.
I can't believe that it's already that time.
Now, I am not a big camper. Okay, I know.
I remember when you were gonna go camping that one time.
Okay, I am not a big camper. I can do it. I love to do it. It's just a matter of.
She needs to wash your face. If there's no running water, she ain't doing it.
Ryan knows, okay? I have this skincare routine, okay? I have a skincare routine. I have to wash my face. So yes, it's true.
Man.
I bought this little bag that hangs. I bought this little bag that hangs from a tree that I can fill water to wash my face. Besides the skincare routine, I feel like I can handle the camping, but I don't know what our plan is for that, but I do have it marked on my calendar because that might be something where we might be doing, I don't know, it's at the end of May.
Right.
So that's what I have planned. What is your May looking like?
Well, for now, at least. I know Ryland's birthday is on the 29th. She turns 3.
Wow.
Crazy. I know.
Yes.
So she turns 3, obviously Mother's Day. Other than that, really not much.
Not much going into May.
Going on with me.
Yeah, so I will be documenting a full video a lot of people have been asking Miko, can you show planting your garden and all that? I know it's not finance related, but you know what? To me, it is.
Yeah.
This is about self-sufficiency and homesteading for me.
I love it.
It goes beyond just gardening. It goes beyond just saving money on my food budget as far as being self-sufficient on my own seasonal fruits and veggies. This is about sustainability and teaching my son all the lessons of self-sufficiency.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, as far as even like collecting eggs, composting, how to grow things. Like back in the day, I remember like this is something that I felt like was shown to me by my mom growing up on a cattle farm. I mean, nowadays I think about how many children are being taught homesteading self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a big plan.
I love it. I love it.
And
like a generational plan.
It
for
is.
you.
And this goes into, to remember when I first bought my house with cash, I did a YouTube video explaining the reasons behind this big financial goal.
Right.
This is part of this plan. Right? It's just now coming to fruition, even though it's 2 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
This is part of that plan in a small way.
I love that.
And so this
That's
is what
so exciting.
I'm
I bet
excited.
You're so excited.
Will I get anything from my garden? I don't know. This is trial and error. Will they all die? I don't know.
All the garden vibes, garden fairies to Miko.
I don't know. But I'm gonna try it because you don't know until you try. And here's nothing. You don't learn until you try.
And I feel like with gardening, it's definitely like there's a lot.
I
feel like you get like it's a skill almost. Like you get better with time.
There is a learning curve. It's true. I've spent months. I have so many hours into watching YouTube videos. But this is how I learn.
Yeah.
This is how I take it upon myself to take action on something that I want to get better at.
That's awesome.
I mean, this is the same way I kind of tackled my baking journey.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
And Chris gave me the sweetest compliment the other day. I was talking about, this isn't baking, this is cooking, but I was talking about like, I don't think I'm a good cook. I cook for him every night. I cook for my family every night. Pretty much we do most of our meals at home. And he looked at me and he goes, Miko, you're a really good cook.
Aww.
And that made me feel so good because at one time I wasn't.
I remember that, yeah.
When I was living in my 800 square foot apartment. Okay, I'm the mom that burnt the frozen pizza. Yeah. Okay, now that pizza comes out looking good.
Now I make homemade pizza.
Yeah, I make my own pizza now. Progress, right? So this is all the things that we're kind of doing in my life and what I have going. And so we'll be showing all of that over. If you don't follow me already, follow me over on Instagram. This is where I really do share my real numbers, my real spending, what's happening in my real life as far as my finances. It's all about showing what it looks like to have a successful, sustainable budget in someone's real life. It's just my real life.
Yep.
That's what it is. That's why I started the Budget Mom. So if you found this video helpful, please like it and don't forget to subscribe. Just gotta get it done. Gotta get it done. No, that's lies. I need to change this. Oh God, I'm hooked.
That's right.
I'm hooked up to this thing. Getting this done.